Okay, so looks like the stream has just started. Hello guys, Tomas Dominguez here. Yeah, after weeks and weeks of trying to edit that Blu-ray collection video, for some reason my phone just wouldn't let me upload it. Isn't that fantastic? Like, I'm not gonna get into the problems, at least like right now I had with it. Basically, what I'm just gonna do is that, what I'm just gonna say is that I tried everything to edit that video, everything to get uploaded, and it's like nothing was working, and it was very frustrating. So I decided that because nothing was working on that video, and because I was determined to get that video out to you guys, I decided why not do a live stream, just me showing my entire Blu-ray collection. Now I know obviously this is not the most ideal way I wanted to do this video, but I have run out of options at this point. But I hope you all still enjoy this video, and yeah, we'll have a good time as I show you every Blu-ray I have in my collection. And of course, to get me through this video, because I'm going to be talking nonstop for God knows how long, I have this bottle of water with me. So when I start losing my voice, this will be there to help me. And yeah, because this is going to be one shot, one take thing, like if I mess up or anything like that, just going to move on and roll with it. So also, one thing I want to talk about before I start doing this video is that there's quite a few films in this collection I haven't seen yet. I know. And for the films I haven't seen, I'm just going to like take the Blu-ray out, say its name, and then move on for the most part, unless I have something to say about the film and or why I bought it. So anyways, enough of the rambling. Let's get on to why you all are really here, the Blu-rays. So before I get onto the actual Blu-rays right here, oh, one more thing I wanted to mention is that you're probably noticing that some of the Blu-rays I have are over there. Well, that is because they are on this bottom shelf. I don't know if you can see it well. And I really just do not want to, like, put my arm down and, like, try to reach for the Blu-rays down there. So I figure it'd be easier if I put them over there. So anyways, let's let the video begin. So first of all, as I was trying to state before, I do have a couple Blu-ray box sets that are too big to fit on these shelves. I want to show you first. The first things I want to show you are the Stranger Things seasons 1 and 2 box sets, which are normally displayed over there. I don't know if you can see it well, like right next to the Exorcist and the Godzilla tapes. Those are where these Stranger Things Blu-ray sets are, and these are the first two seasons, season 1 and season 2. I'm really hoping that they release season 3 on Blu-ray, because I don't know, even though this is on Netflix, I just like having the series on Blu-ray because I actually enjoyed the show. I really like the show a lot. Not as much as I did when I first watched it, because I've watched more shows that I've loved since then. Ooh, Bernardo's here. What's up, dude? So there's a lot of other shows I've watched since then that I've loved more than Stranger Things. And besides, the series has kind of gotten a bit worse as it's went on, but I still highly enjoy the show. I hope they release season 3 on Blu-ray. I'm really looking forward to season 4. And in terms of box sets, hey Hector, what's up? Yes, Bernardo, we do need it on Blu-ray, Stranger Things season 3 on Blu-ray. And it's going good, Hector. Thanks for asking. How about you? Anyways, next up we have is The Office complete series on Blu-ray. I did show this off in a pickups video. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this Blu-ray set. The Office is one of my favorite shows of all time. And the good thing is that I got this set for Christmas, literally like a week before it left Netflix last Christmas. So yeah, I'm so happy to have this set. At least I don't have to like get a Peacock subscription just to watch the series. So yeah, so happy to have this set. And if for some reason you still haven't seen The Office, please check out whenever you can get the chance, whether it be watching on Peacock, maybe blind buying some of the seasons, stuff like that. But please, I highly recommend y'all watch this show. And with the Blu-ray box sets out of the way, now let's get on to my actual Blu-ray cases. And the first two Blu-rays here are actually both Criterions. Now, some of you may not like the idea. Thanks, Bernardo. Now, some of you may not like the idea of, how do I say it? It's the idea of me not putting my criterions together, but I just like, yo, Nicholas is in the chat. What's up, man? So some of you, I know, like when you display your criterions, you put them all together. But for me, I just put all my Blu-rays in alphabetical order, just to like, just because it's easier for me to like, how do I say it? Display them. Like this is why I edit my videos here, because sometimes I get stuck on what I'm gonna say. So yeah, but let's just roll with it. So basically, I just put all my Blu-rays in alphabetical order because it's just a lot easier, for me, just to like if I'm picking out a movie, I want to be able to find it, if that makes any sense. Just like go for my shelf, be able to find it based on alphabetical order, if that makes sense. I'll stop talking. Anyway, so the first Criterion Blu-ray I have is 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. And this is a fantastic Romanian film. If you're ever at the next Criterion sale this summer, I highly recommend you all pick up this film because this film is really good. And next up here we have is 12 Angry Men, easily one of the best black and white films ever made. It's such a really, really good film that I highly enjoyed. And I feel like I'll enjoy a lot more on rewatch. And if you haven't seen this film yet, please check it out because it truly is a really good movie. The hype for this movie truly is real. It's so good. Easily a film that could be made today. And next up here we have, it is a classic Bernardo. And I do know you also put your criterions on separate shelves. And oh wow, happy you like Watchmen, Hector. I definitely need to check that one out. Wow, not even 5 Blu-rays in and already I need a drink of water. But anyways, the next Blu-ray I have here is 12 Years a Slave. I just watched this for the first time like 2 or 3 months ago, and wow, what a film. Like, this is a really good film that gives a brutal representation of slavery in 19th century America. And yeah, if you're gonna watch this film, I'm gonna warn you, like, prepare yourself, because it's a very strong, very tragic film that basically just highlights how horrible slavery was in 19th century America. But it is still a really good film that I highly recommend you all check out. And great choice for Best Picture back in 2014. Next up, we have both 21 and 22 Jump Street. I really enjoy both these films. These are both just comedy films I can just sit back, watch, and have a good laugh with. Like, these are just fun, enjoyable comedies. They are really, really good. So, yeah, highly enjoy them. Let's see. Yeah, I am aware that there's a 90s remake of 12 Angry Men. Yeah, Bernardo says is a one-time watch and so on Blu-ray. I think he's talking about 12 Years a Slave. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And yeah, it is a tough watch, Hector. Anyways, next up here we have 50/50 on Blu-ray. Surprisingly, this is actually, if you haven't seen this film, this is surprisingly not as much of a depressing film as you might think it is reading the plot synopsis, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character has cancer. So, but it's actually a lot less depressing than you might think. And it definitely has the best performance from Seth Rogen I've ever seen. And yeah, it's a really good film overall that I highly recommend you all check out. 127 hours. All I'm going to say about this film is, it's very graphic in terms of gore in one particular scene. So prepare yourself for this, but still a good film nonetheless. Definitely not my favorite from Danny Boyle, but still a good film. 300. The first film in my collection I haven't seen yet. 500 Days of Summer. Now, this is probably one of the best romantic comedies ever made, if you can even call it a romantic comedy. Like, when you read the advertising for this film, and it says, like, I think it says it's not a romance film, this film is not lying. Like, what I really like about this film is that it takes such an original take on the romance genre and explores basically. Don't watch 300. Well, terrible movie. Yeah, I got it for a cheap price in a Blu-ray lot, so may as well watch it. If I don't like it, then I can just sell it. So, 500 Days of Summer is just such an original take on the romantic comedy genre. And I highly recommend you all watch this film because, as you can hear, there's my dog barking upstairs. So, yeah, but it's just, if you have not seen 500 Days of Summer, please check out. It's so good. Next up, one of my only two 4K Blu-rays I have, 1917, a little bit overhyped, but still a really, really well-directed war film from Sam Mendes. So, yeah, if you haven't seen 1917 yet, definitely check it out. Next up, we have the triple feature Stanley Kubrick film collections. I have seen 2001, The Shining, both classic Stanley Kubrick films. Yeah, I can see what you mean, Hector. I think also about 500 Days of Summer, if you typically don't like romantic comedies, still watch it. It's not your typical romantic comedy by any means, and you may end up liking it quite a bit. So basically, this triple feature Stanley Kubrick set, 2001 Shining, both classics. I still need to see A Clockwork Orange. I do hope to watch it sometime this year. So yeah, really looking forward to watching it. Next up, we have Airplane. Oh wow, 2 likes on this video despite me not knowing what to say half the time. So thanks for that. So Airplane, a really funny film by I think the Zucker brothers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's a really funny film from 1980. It's just so silly, but in a good way. And I'm really happy to have the steelbook for that. Next up, we have the Alien Anthology. I absolutely love the first 2 Alien films, especially Aliens. That's probably my favorite out of the bunch, but Alien is still really good. Have not seen Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection, but I haven't heard good things about it, and I've already read a bit about the plot of Alien 3, and yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to hate it already. And I know it also has quite a bit of making of documentaries in this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I really can't wait to check these documentaries out. So, yeah, I'm so happy to have this set. Hello, John. And the next movie up here is actually a film I watched the other night for the first time, and that is American History X. One sec. Sorry if I'm not responding to a lot of comments right now. I'm just focusing on getting through this video, but I will try to respond to as much as possible. But anyways, American History X. Watched this for the first time a couple nights ago, and oh my god, this is what a brutal film this is. The subject matter especially, this film is very strong, very brutal, but I think it's an essential film to watch for anyone because it really shows how anger and how rage can push you to do extreme stuff. For example, I don't even know what I'm saying at the moment, but yeah, watch this film. I highly recommend it. It may not be an easy watch, but you'll definitely not regret watching it. Watch it at least once. If you want to watch it again, then I don't blame you, but watch American History X. It's really good. Next up, we have Anchorman, a pretty funny comedy with Will Ferrell in this pretty cool Blu-ray set, actually, that I got for $6 at Best Buy, so happy to have that. Argo, really good movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. I definitely need to rewatch it. Arrival, probably my favorite film from Denis Villeneuve. It's just, and definitely the best sci-fi film to come out in the past, let's see, how many years? 10 years, I meant to say. My apologies. So, if you have not seen Arrival, definitely check this out, especially before this director's new film, Dune, comes out later this year. Definitely check out Arrival. It's such a fantastic sci-fi film right here. Again, the reason I do pauses in my videos because, do edits on my videos, because when I do, one long take, I misconstrue my words and don't know what to say at times, so sorry for that. Next up, we have The Artist. I also watched this recently for the first time, and yeah, really well-made film. The Artist does a really good job. Yes, Bernard, The Artist. The Artist does a fantastic job of basically making, you watch this film and you think you're watching a film from, the 1920s. That's how impressive the filmmaking for this film truly is. Wait, did I really say the filmmaking for this film? The direction for this film. But yeah, really good film, and yeah, definitely didn't love it as much as some other people, but still a good film overall. Next up, we have a quadrilogy right here: The Avengers, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Avengers: Infinity War, and in my opinion, the best one, Avengers: Endgame. The Avengers, a bit overrated in my opinion, but still a really fun comic book film. As you notice over here, it has a Toys R Us sticker up there. Actually, when Toys R Us was closing, I bought this. That was like the thing I bought when Toys R Us was having a sale. What my local Toys R Us was having a sale before it closed. So, yeah. And I did not pay $29.99 for this. I paid a much cheaper price, thankfully. And I know a lot of people. Yes, Nicholas will definitely agree that the Avengers is definitely overrated. And Age of Ultron, definitely not as good as the first Avengers, but I still enjoy it for what it is. Like, I know a lot of people hate this film. Like, sue me. I like this. Like, I definitely do like it. Stop it. Bernardo's. I definitely do like this film. I do like some of the story ideas that it has. I think it had a lot of potential to how do I say? I'm sorry, I'm completely lost right now. It definitely had a lot of story potentials that could have been explored in future films that I feel like weren't. But yeah, enjoy Age of Ultron, but definitely not as good as these two films, especially Endgame. But we'll get to that in a moment. Infinity War, believe it or not, I feel is a bit overrated, but still a really good film nonetheless. In terms of the two Avengers films that came out year to year, I definitely prefer Endgame. What a fantastic end to the Infinity Saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, if this was the last film of the MCU, I'd be totally satisfied. I'd be totally satisfied. But with all the TV shows coming out, mainly WandaVision, I'm definitely excited to see where the MCU goes next after Endgame. So, but yeah, Endgame, still a fantastic film. And in my opinion, the best out of the entire Avengers quadrilogy. Okay, give me 1 second while I put these Blu-rays back. Again, this is why I don't do one-take videos usually. Next up here is one of the few Edgar Wright films I have seen, and that is Baby Driver. I absolutely really like Baby Driver. Really, really good film, especially the way that this is directed. Like, the way Edgar Wright directed this was just phenomenal. I can't even explain it right now. He definitely should have gotten the Best Director nomination the year this came out. Oh, and the editing's wonderful, as the Movie Geek pointed out. Yeah, that truly is. And if you haven't seen Baby Driver, definitely check out. I do hope to upgrade this to the Blu-ray Steelbook because I really like how this looks. So, but yeah, really good film. Next up, we have the 30th anniversary Blu-ray Steelbook edition of the Back to the Future trilogy. Bernardo, I still have not seen Scott Pilgrim. Don't kill me. I know that's like one of your favorite films of all time. I promise I'll try and watch it very soon. Very soon. Very soon. And I know, yeah, he also directed that one. But anyways, the Back to the Future trilogy. I absolutely love the first Back to the Future. Like, I really do. Yeah, I know, Bernardo. I'll get to it. I promise. I promise, guys, I'll get to Scott Pilgrim. I need to drink. Anyways, the Back to the Future trilogy. I've only seen the first Back to the Future, believe it or not. I know. I need to see the rest. And I do plan on watching the 2 sequels sometime this summer because I know I'm kind of mad at myself. I still haven't seen the other 2, but yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing the sequels. And the first one is an 80s classic. Next up, probably one of the most beloved trilogies of the past 20 years or so, the Dark Knight trilogy. Here's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I did see these films a few years ago for the first time. Really good trilogy overall. Let's see. First off, Batman Begins. Good film. I just think it's a bit slow. Like, I just think it's a bit too slow, but I feel like maybe on rewatch, I'll probably like it at least a little more, if possible. And of course, The Dark Knight, one of the best superhero films ever made. No question about that. Like, Heath Ledger's performance in this is, yeah, it's incredible. Truly incredible film. And The Dark Knight Rises. I know some people are not crazy about this film, but honestly, I think it's a really good conclusion to the trilogy, especially the ending. I absolutely love the ending of this film. Like, so yeah, and I'm also hoping to upgrade this entire trilogy to a Blu-ray box set that looks really cool in the future. And I definitely need to rewatch these films because it's definitely been a few years, but yeah, really good trilogy overall. See, next up we have Beast of the Southern Wild. Very interesting film I saw for the first time in the film class a couple years ago when I was shadowing. So basically, I saw this film a couple years ago when I was shadowing a student at a college I was looking at because at the time I wanted to major in film, and I shadowed her in a film class, and this was the film we watched. Very interesting film, I would say. Definitely need to rewatch it though. Next up, we have a big classic Tom Hanks film. Really funny as well. Like, I really do like this film quite a bit. And I also bought this at Best Buy for only like $6 at the slipcover, so that's pretty neat. The rate I'm going at, I'm probably gonna run out of water like before this is halfway done. Yeah, Big is great, Hector. And next up here we have The Big Short. Still need to see this one. Very interested in seeing it though. The Big Sick. Next up we have Birdman, or the Unexpected Virtual Ignorance. Yes, I did say the whole title. But yeah, really good film. I don't think it deserved to win Best Picture the year it came out due to the other films that came out that year, like Whiplash and Boyhood. But yeah, still really good film nonetheless. And in a year like 2015, there could have been the worst film that could have won Best Picture, American Sniper. And next up here we have Black Panther. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Let's see. Oh, Bernardo dares me to say the director's name in Spanish. I don't know if I can do that. I can try saying his name for you though. 1 second. Alejandro G. Iñárritu. Let's see. If I mispronounce it in any way, please let me know. You got the Dark Knight trilogy in a set for under $20 one time? That's a good deal, man. Next up, we have Black Panther. As I said before, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace. And this is truly a really good film and a landmark film. And a landmark film at that. Like, truly, because it basically showcased the African nation of Wakanda and basically gave a cultural, how do I say? Thank you. Oh, I did good. Thank you, Bernardo. And basically gave a new, how do I say it? Cultural, like, it definitely was a cultural significance for African Americans because the cast as a whole is all African American for the most part. So yeah, but overall, really good MCU film right here. And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I hope they make Shuri the next Black Panther and Black Panther 2. Next up, we have Black Klansman. Kind of a hot take. This is my favorite Spike Lee film. Just the way it addresses the themes in this film is just incredible. Like, the topics in this film, the way they're addressed, like, wow. And to me, in this day and age, this is an essential film to watch. Like, even though it takes place in the 70s, like, the events that occur here could easily still happen today. So definitely check out Black Klansman if you haven't yet. Next up, we have Blade Runner 2049. I definitely haven't want to watch these for the first time sometime this year. So, yeah. Blazing Saddles. My pronunciation wasn't too bad. Thank you, Hector. Blood Simple. Fantastic film and fantastic directorial debut for the Coen brothers. Definitely another film to pick up at this summer's Criterion sale if you haven't picked it up. So yeah, absolutely love Blood Simple. Blue Jasmine, not my favorite Woody Allen film, but still a really good one nonetheless. Booksmart, a really good, really funny, heartwarming coming of age film. Some people call this the female Superbad. I don't know if I would agree with that necessarily. Bowling for Columbine. Not crazy about Michael Moore, but it's definitely a very interesting documentary nonetheless. Okay, I just need to move my water bottle out of the way real quick. Boy Erased. Next up, we have Boyhood on Blu-ray, both Criterion and regular. I did buy the regular before I bought the Criterion, but I kept the regular because it has a special feature on here. That's a couple special features on here that are not on the Criterion that I like to still hold on to. But yeah, Boyhood. Boyhood, one of my personal favorite films of all time. Like, the way that they actually shot this throughout 12 years is incredible to me. Like, this is such an amazing film in my opinion. And also, like, if you haven't seen, oh, the computer moved for a sec. Also, if you haven't seen Boyhood, definitely be aware that there's not really much of a plot in this story. Like, it's basically just showing like moments in this kid's life throughout 12 years, from the time he's like 6 to the time he's 18. And I stated before, what's amazing about this film is that it was filmed over a period of 12 years, which is incredible to me, and just a great film all around. I still need to watch more of Richard Linklater's films, and I may buy more of his films in the next Criterion sale this summer. Next up, we have Breaking Bad Season 1 and Breaking Bad Season 2. Definitely need to get the rest of the seasons because I absolutely love this show. It definitely took me some time to like really start becoming a big fan of this show. Like, it took me until like season 4 to become truly hooked on this show. Like, truly hooked. Bernardo says the film's about growing up and was life the meaning of growing up. Very right, man. You're spot on, dude. But yeah, absolutely adore Breaking Bad. I can't wait to I can't speak today. Can't wait to buy the rest of the seasons. Brooklyn. Bumblebee, pretty good film in the Transformers franchise. Like, I remember really liking the Transformers films as a kid, but I haven't watched them since then. So they're probably not going to hold up well in rewatch, but Bumblebee was pretty good. Let's see. Next up, we have this triple feature Blu-ray set that I got at a local 7-Eleven a few years ago for like $7. It comes with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Magnificent Seven. Haven't seen any of these yet. Definitely want to, though. Next up, we have, in my opinion, the best MCU films of all time. Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. These are like my top 2 MCU films of all time. Absolutely love these films, especially The Winter Soldier, which is my number 1. Like, truly incredible film. This is the film that made me a huge fan of Captain America right here. Like, incredible film. And I'm looking forward to Captain America 4. Like, that looks like that's going to be pretty good. Captain Phillips, a really, really good film directed by Paul Greengrass with a fantastic performance by Tom Hanks that was sadly not nominated for, how do I say it? That was sadly not nominated for Best Actor the year it came out. And yeah, really good film, Captain Phillips. One sec. Let's see. Cars. Cars. Definitely one of the most underrated Pixar films in my opinion. I know a lot of people are not crazy about this film and think this is one of Pixar's weaker films, which I can kind of see, but I grew up with this film. This is like the first film I remember seeing in theaters back in 2006, and I was only like, 5 years old. So yeah, this film has a special place in my heart for me, and yeah, I just love Cars. Definitely not as good as many of the other Pixar films, but still a really good film in my mind. And now the only James Bond film I have in my collection. I say James Bond film because this is an unofficial film called Casino Royale, and it's not the 2005 Daniel Craig one. It's basically an unofficial one starring, I think has Woody Allen in it. And a friend gave this to me as a birthday gift because he's a huge James Bond fan, but I still haven't seen this. Definitely want to watch the Bond films first before I watch this. So Christopher Robin, the only reason I own this is that I got this in a Blu-ray lot with a couple other films I watched. I wanted more, and I still hadn't seen it up to that point, but I watched it on this Blu-ray, and yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. Very cute. Very cute. Okay, I'm just going to move my chair. A little bit, just so I can get to the other Blu-rays right here more easily. And let me move my water ball while I'm at that. Let's see, Hector is like, I never got into Cars even as a kid. Yeah, that's the case of a lot of people, man. Like, but hey, it's all opinion. It's all opinion. I respect your opinion. Anyways, next up we have City Lights. Actually, one of the first Criterions I got in my collection. Yeah, I really like City Lights. Definitely not my favorite out of Charlie. What? I almost said Woody. Out of Charlie Chaplin's films, but still really good. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm gonna try and speed it up from here on, just so because I don't want the video to be too long. Cloverfield. I really enjoy Cloverfield. Probably my favorite found footage film. Like, I like the idea of found footage films, and Cloverfield is definitely my favorite one in this genre of film. So, let's see. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I know a lot of people love this film, and I think it's a really solid film, but personally, unpopular opinion, I like the first Cloverfield better. So, Coco, a really good Pixar film. Not one of my like top 5 favorites or anything, but still really good. Like, the animation in this film is absolutely gorgeous, especially. Collateral, I still need to see this film, but this is actually one of the first Blu-rays I got in my collection, fun fact. Come and See, I definitely want to watch this film very soon, especially before the Criterion sale, because this film just looks super interesting. Come and See. Con Air, Corpse Bride, Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, I don't own the Cloverfield Paradox. I don't even know if I want to watch that one, to be totally honest with you. But Crazy Rich Asians, a pretty good romantic comedy right here. Definitely looking forward to the director's new film, In the Heights. That looks really good, and I hope it's really good. I'll definitely watch it when it comes out this summer, hopefully in theaters. Crazy Stupid Love. Haven't seen it, but I've heard good things. Creed. Definitely need to rewatch that one before Creed 3 comes out, along with Creed 2. Dallas Buyers Club. Deadpool with this really cool slipcover. And Deadpool 2. Just fun movies. I definitely love the character of Deadpool right here. And I'm pretty sure Deadpool 3 is coming out. If it is, then I'm really looking forward to Deadpool 3 because these two films are absolutely fun and hilarious. Let's see. Fair enough, Hector. Like, I know you're not crazy about romantic comedies, so I don't blame you. They're definitely among my least favorite genres, but like if there's one that looks pretty good and one that I think that I'll enjoy, I'll definitely check it out. Deepwater Horizon. The Departed. Definitely need to see this one. Definitely will watch this one sometime this year because I hear nothing but good things and I really want to watch it. The Descendants. Die Hard, one of the best action films ever made. I still haven't come to a conclusion on whether I think it's a Christmas movie or not, so yeah. Definitely have heard The Age of Adeline. I'll definitely look into that one. The Dirty Harry collection with Dirty Harry and Magnum Force that I found at 7-Eleven for a cheap price, but I still need to watch those films. The Disaster Artist, good movie, but the book is so much better. Like, it is a lot better than the movie. Like watch the book. I mean, read the book. What am I saying? Read the book, at least. And if you want to watch a movie, definitely check it out. But I highly recommend you all read the book. It's so much better. Do the Right Thing. A fantastic. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Yes, Bernardo. Yes, Bernardo. Yeah, and I'm hyped for In the Heights myself. That looks really good. And Do the Right Thing. Really good Spike Lee film and super relevant. Like, and a really cool Blu-ray box set as well. Like, definitely need to check out the special features on there. Oh, hi, Mock. Yo, I love how you're putting room references in the comments, man. Like, yes. Next up, we have Hector. Yes, Hector. I'm probably not going to say it out loud, but yes, Hector. Anyways, where was I? Anyways, Doctor Sleep. Really good sequel to The Shining, in my opinion. I've only seen the theatrical cut. Definitely need to see the director's cut. Maybe a bit too long, but Hector, you're killing me with all these room quotes or Disaster Artist quotes. But yeah, still need to see the director's cut, but I really like Doctor Sleep overall. Sorry. Next up, we have a Blu-ray double feature pack of Dodgeball and There's Something About Mary. Haven't seen Dodgeball, definitely need to see that. There's Something About Mary is great, though. It's like it may look like a romantic comedy, but it's just more like a straight up comedy. It's incredible. Like, if you have not seen There's Something About Mary, watch it. It's so funny. $4 at Target. Yeah, that's a good deal. Dunkirk, a really well-made film by Christopher Nolan. Not one of my favorites from his, but still a really well-made film nonetheless. Ed Wood, I absolutely love Ed Wood. This is a great, great film. And I believe it or not, I still haven't seen a lot of films from Tim Burton. I definitely need to work my way up on that, but this is definitely my favorite Tim Burton film thus far. Fantastic movie. Like, if you guys have not seen Ed Wood, please watch it. This is a great, absolutely great film. Cut! That was perfect. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, Bernardo, you need to see Ed Wood. Like, you need to see Ed Wood. I need to see Scott Pilgrim. I know, yeah. Next up, we have The Edge of 17. Yeah, really, really good coming of age film. One of the best coming of age films in recent years. It's funny, it's dramatic, like it's really good. Like this is another film I highly recommend you guys all watch. This is just super good and gives a great, and also features a great performance by probably my celebrity crush right now, Haley Steinfeld. So next up we get to another fantastic coming of age film, 8th Grade. One of the most relatable films I have ever seen in my life, especially especially its prominent features of like how social media impacts teenagers' daily lives. Daily lives nowadays. I can't speak English like right now, but yeah, 8th Grade is fantastic. Definitely check out if you haven't seen it yet. Excuse me. That's my dog. The grade itself, yeah, 8th Grade definitely sucked for me as well. Or you're talking about the movie. Let's see. Oh yeah, obviously. Like, I think we all saw ourselves in the main character of 8th Grade, at least at some point in our lives. So yeah. Next up, we have the Essential Holiday Collection, which features The Polar Express, National Lampoon's Vacation, The Christmas Story, and Elf. Seen all of these. My favorite one out of all of these is Elf. Fantastic Christmas movie. It's the one Christmas movie I need to watch like every year. I absolutely adore Elf. Like Will Ferrell in this film. But Yale, what's your favorite color? E.T. the Extraterrestrial. A really good Steven Spielberg film, though it's been a while since I've watched it. And I know this is another Santa. Yes, Bernardo. And I know this is another one of my good friend Bernardo's favorite films. So yeah, but yeah, definitely a really good Steven Spielberg film right here. Next up, we have the Evil Dead films. I definitely want to watch these. Hopefully this Halloween season. I still need to get Army of Darkness as well, though. So, it's your number one. Yeah, I know you have a lot of copies of E.T. And I'm actually kind of jealous of your E.T. collection, Bernardo, if I'm being totally honest. Next up, we have Ex Machina, another one of the greatest sci-fi films of the past few years. Like, this is such a great film. Like, if you haven't seen Ex Machina, definitely check it out. Fantastic Mr. Fox, a really good Wes Anderson film. The animation, the stop motion animation in this film is to die for. It's amazing. Like, truly is incredible. Let's see. The Fault in Our Stars. Not a great film, but definitely not a bad romantic comedy, actually. The Favorite. I haven't seen this since years. I definitely need to rewatch it, but this is such a phenomenally made film right here. And Olivia Colman definitely deserved that Oscar for her performance. Now, don't get mad at me. I haven't seen The Wife, so I wouldn't know if Glenn Close is better, but yeah, Olivia Colman, in my opinion, deserved that Oscar for Best Actress. The Fighter, still need to see it. I really like Silver Linings Playbook, which is also directed by David O. Russo, so I definitely need to see The Fighter, along with American Hustle. Next up, my favorite Pixar film of all time, Finding Nemo. Bernardo's like, you better have Super 8. You're going to find out very soon if I have Super 8 or not. But Finding Nemo, easily my favorite Pixar film. I absolutely adore Finding Nemo. The animation, the story, like, it's such an incredible film. I adore this film. Like, for some reason, you still have not seen Finding Nemo. Like, stop living under a rock. Stop watching the stream right now. Go to Disney Plus and watch it. First Man, definitely my least favorite. My school overplayed Finding Nemo so much. I do think that's the case of a lot of people, and I can see how that could like affect your opinion of the film. So, but yeah, First Man, good Damien Chazelle film. Definitely his weakest out of his films. I know my good friend Nicholas like thinks his film is like really underrated, but yeah, it is a really good film. Definitely really well made, especially. 1 second. Wait, where are we? We're moving at a faster pace. I like this. Next up, we have Flight. The Florida Project, one of my favorite films of 2017. This is such a fantastic film. Fantastic film. Like, absolutely love The Florida Project. And the way it was shot, especially, like, the cinematography and the direction, like, it was so under-nominated at the Oscars. They only had William Dafoe for Best Supporting Actor as a nomination. Like, it should have been nominated for so much more that year. Like, if you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend you all check it out. Oh, Bernardo, your first film that you ever watched in the theater and your first film over. That's a really good start for your first film ever, man. Next up, we have the Blu-ray Steelbook of Forrest Gump. So happy to have this Steelbook. Great artwork, especially. But yeah, really like Forrest Gump. This is one of the movies that really got me into movies a few, like 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, so that's why I have a soft spot for Forrest Gump. Really, really good film. You're definitely right about that. And I do like films like that. Like, I also the same with Nomadland. I definitely do like films like that, like slice of life types of films. Like those are definitely films I really enjoy. I can't speak right now. I'm sorry. I know that's like the 10th time I said that in this live stream. Next up, we have The Founder, a really good film, definitely very underrated. Basically about how McDonald's became the franchise it is today, with a fantastic performance from Michael Keaton. Let's see, Game Night. Really, really fun comedy, really funny. If you're just in the mood for just like a really like funny comedy, then definitely put this one on. Happy I found out the slipcover like a year after it was released. George Washington, I definitely need to give this a rewatch, but a good film nonetheless. Get Out, really good film. Hot take, really hot take right here. I like this better. I like Us better than Get Out. Moving on. Next up, we have this 2-movie pack of Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I absolutely love this Blu-ray set. This is really cool. Really like the first Ghostbusters. It's an 80s classic. Still have not seen Ghostbusters 2 though, and I definitely want to rewatch the first one and Ghostbusters 2 before Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out. Like because that looks really good. Like I'm really looking forward to that one. Never saw the 2016 one. I don't think I ever will. I also have this really cool Blu-ray Steelbook of the first Ghostbusters. Just look at this artwork. Let's see it. Oh, you once nearly stepped on your copy of Game Night? Jeez. That was a close call. Let's see. And yeah, Us was definitely a bit more entertaining. But yeah, really cool Steelbook of the 84 Ghostbusters right here. Gone Girl. Not going to say anything about it. You need to see that film. I'm not going to say anything about Gone Girl. You need to see it for yourself to see how truly wonderful of a film it is. And definitely one of my favorite David Fincher films. Good Boys, just another really fun comedy. Like, it's one of those films that if I need a comedy to watch, like after I have a bad day or something, this is one of the ones I put on. It's just really good comedy. Definitely kind of like a tween Superbad, which sadly I do not have Superbad in my collection yet. I definitely want to get in my collection, particularly the Blu-ray Steelbook. Like, yeah. Goodfellas, fantastic Martin Scorsese film. Definitely, probably his best film. Like, one of his best at least. Grand Budapest Hotel, really good Wes Anderson film. Definitely need to upgrade this as a Criterion. I've definitely been watching a lot of his Wes Anderson films. Like, he's a really good filmmaker. Yo, I want the Steelbook of Superbad. I'm jealous, Bernardo. The Great Escape. Still need to watch that one. Looks really good though. Great Gatsby. I watched bits and pieces of this. I think most of the movie in my 11th grade English class, we actually did not read the book. We mainly just watched the movie. And I remember not caring for it much, but I've been having like an urgency to rewatch this again. But Leonardo DiCaprio gives a fantastic performance as Jay Gatsby in this film. Hello, it's Sport. Yeah, definitely watch more of his movies, like Hector. Like next up, we have The Greatest Showman. Not a great movie by any means, but I still really enjoy it for what it is. The songs in this film are great, though. Like I really like the music in that film. This is kind of a controversial one right here. Good movie, but they deserve to win Best Picture against films like Roma or Black Klansman? Hell no. But still a good film nonetheless. Great performances by the two lead actors. Okay, so we're done with that show. So let me move a little bit to this shelf right here. You probably can't get a good look at this, but yeah, let me just take a quick sip. My water. Okay, let's continue. Next up, we have the two Guardians of the Galaxy films right here. I'm so happy I was able to get the 3D Blu-ray of this because I just like the slipcover for this. It's so awesome, even though I don't have a 3D TV. But yeah, really fun movies. Green Book shouldn't have won Best Picture, Bernardo. And I even like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Like, to me, it's actually the most underrated MCU film. I know some people hate on it, but I really enjoy it for what it is, honestly. They're just both fun movies that I can just sit back, relax, and have a good time with. Let's see, Justice Roma. Yes, Hector. We're going to get to Roma in a little bit. That's all I'm going to say. Hacksaw Ridge. Still need to see this. I definitely want to see this sometime soon because I've heard people praise it left and right. Hail Caesar. Yes, Bernardo. Volume 2 is underrated. Thank you. Halloween, definitely the best slasher film of all time. Like, it's a classic. I just have to... It's another film I have to watch every year, specifically for the Halloween season. Like, how can you not watch Halloween every year? But this is not my favorite John Carpenter film. We'll get to that a little later. Next up, we have the Harry Potter 8-film collection. As I stated in my Pick-Us video when I showed this, I did watch bits and pieces of this over the years. I did watch a couple of them in full when I was a kid because my older sister was a huge fan. But yeah, I definitely want to watch all these films because I know there's a huge fan base for them. And they look really good. They look like something I would enjoy. I'm a what? See, I haven't seen all of them, but I at least know that line. But yeah, definitely looking forward to watching all of them sometime this summer, definitely, because I want to watch these as soon as possible and when I have time. And there's my dog barking again. In case you're all wondering, his name is Jazz. Best dog ever. Anyway, sorry, we're going off topic a bit. The Hate U Give, another film to me that is essential to watch at least one time. Really, really good film. Like, I highly recommend you all check this out. Super relevant. Hell or High Water. Definitely want to check that out. I remember when it came to theaters, Hereditary, what a film this was. Like, I definitely need to give this a rewatch. Like, I would say overall I liked it, but I definitely need to rewatch it. I also haven't seen Midsommar, which is also directed by the same guy, so definitely watch that as well. Hidden Figures, pretty good movie. Yeah, I've heard great things about Hell or High Water. Definitely need to check it out. High Life, very interesting sci-fi film. It's like, I don't know exactly what to make of it, but I kind of liked it. I definitely see myself rewatching this in the future. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely need to see Midsommar, Bernardo. Hugo, another Martin Scorsese film I hope to watch for the first time later this year. The Hunger Games, the only one I have of the series. The Hurt Locker. Now, I need to get you're not wrong, Patricia Dominguez. Now, Inception. I need to get a better Blu-ray release of this. Hopefully I can upgrade this to 4K. But yeah, absolutely love Inception. I can't decide either this or The Dark Knight is my favorite Christopher Nolan film, but I think I'm leaning more towards this. Like, such a fantastic, such an innovative film. Like, this should have gotten more attention at the Oscars than it did. Like the fact that Christopher Nolan was even nominated for Best Director for this, like that just shows like what's wrong with the Academy right there. Let's see, Independence Day, just a really fun doomsday type film starring Will Smith. Like, yeah, pretty good. Welcome to Earth. Inside Out, definitely one of the best Pixar films to come out in the past decade. Like, I absolutely adore Inside Out. It's great. Like, love Inside Out. Insidious, pretty good horror film that I watched last year for the first time. Interstellar, another good Christopher Nolan film. Definitely not one of his best, though, but I enjoy it for what it is. And I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching it because it's been a while since I've seen it. Hopefully, maybe I'll like it a bit more on rewatch because I know quite a few of my friends on here love Interstellar. So, yeah. Look at you, Nicholas and Nathan Hale. And Patricia Dominguez. Next up, we have, in my opinion, one of the best films of 2020, The Invisible Man. Like, what I love about this film was that it took a classic Universal monster character and basically used the character in a great social commentary about domestic abuse. Like, if you haven't seen The Invisible Man, please check this out. This is such an incredible film, in my opinion. One of my personal favorite films of 2020, actually. First Iron Man, easily one of the best MCU films, and definitely one of the best origin stories overall of the MCU. Iron Man 2, very weak sequel, but happy to own it. But yeah, very weak sequel. Definitely the weakest of the entire Iron Man trilogy. Isle of Dogs, one of the Wes Anderson films I still need to see, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. Next up, we have It, the 2017 remake, and its sequel, It Chapter 2, which is when the kids are all adults. Really enjoy It. It Chapter 2 is not as good, but I still enjoy that as well. Like, yeah, good films. Good films. Now, I know Nathan Hale's going to love me for owning this film. It's a Wonderful Life. Like, hey, you guys want to hear a secret to how you can be friends with Nathan Hale? Own this film, or tell him at least you love it. Like, that's how you get on this good side. But yeah, incredible film. Definitely probably my favorite black and white film. Like, it truly is a really good film, but it's definitely been a while since I've seen it. I definitely want to rewatch it this holiday season because I know it's going to be this film's 75th anniversary this year. And also, fun fact about this film, at the independent movie theater I worked at, like, this is actually the first film they ever showed when they first opened in the 1940s. So that's a little fun fact right there. Jaws, just a classic Spielberg film, the classic summer blockbuster, probably the first modern blockbuster right here. Like, really, and just a really good film in general. It still holds up after all these years. Really good. Probably the only unironically good shark movie we'll ever get. Next up, we have John Wick Chapter 2, John Wick Chapter 3. All pretty good action trilogy. Definitely gonna need. Let's see. I'm definitely looking forward to John Wick Chapter 4 whenever that comes out. And I actually like the third one the best out of all of them, believe it or not. Next up, we have Jojo Rabbit. I absolutely adore Jojo Rabbit. I can go on all day about how much I love this film. It's definitely my favorite film from Taika Waititi, who is just a great filmmaker in general. Like, one of my personal favorite filmmakers nowadays. But yeah, if you have not seen Jojo Rabbit, this is such a great film. Such a great film. This is one of my favorite films of 2020. It was actually neck and neck with Parasite for my favorite film. I meant 2019. Did I say 2020? 2019. Like, this is neck and neck with Parasite for my favorite film of 2019. But some days it's Parasite, some days it's Jojo Rabbit. Like, I can't decide between them as my favorite film of 2019. My favorite film of 2019. Let's see. Yeah. But if you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, please check it out. And speaking of 2019, what was also on my top 10 list, Joker. Really good film. Don't know if I like it as much on further rewatches, but really good film. And Oscar-worthy performance from Joaquin Phoenix. Just 2019 was just one of the best years of cinema in recent years, easily. And another example of that, in my opinion at least, Judy. A really good bio-type pick showcasing Judy Garland in the last months of her life. How about another joke? Wait, where is this going? Anyways, but yeah, really good film in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's very underrated in my opinion. And a fantastic performance from Renee Zellweger. She definitely deserved the Oscar for that. Now, next up, we have one of my personal favorites, if not my favorite Steven Spielberg film, Jurassic Park. Like, this is just such a classic film. Like, I absolutely adore Jurassic Park. Like, truly is a great film. I also want to get the comic book Blu-ray Steelbook for that because that just looks so cool. So, yeah, but I absolutely love Jurassic Park. And I actually got this in a Blu-ray, in an eBay bid for like $10, along with The Lost World Jurassic Park 3. Really? She lived in your hometown when you were a child? Interesting, Hector. And Jurassic World. The only reason I own these films is that they came with Jurassic Park in the lot for like $10, and I really wanted this specific release of Jurassic Park, and that was the only way I could find it for a cheap price. That was like the only listing for a cheap price. So yeah, I have the sequels, and I definitely want to watch all of them, at least the ones I haven't seen before the 5th one comes out next year, which I'm not looking forward to at all, especially after Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But I want to give Jurassic World another chance. If I don't, then I'm going to sell this. And if I don't like the other sequels, I'll definitely sell them too, which is more than likely that I won't like them. I have a feeling. But yeah, Jurassic Park, fantastic film. And I know Hector was just talking about this earlier in the chat. I think as an example of a great film he just can't rewatch again. And I don't blame him. This is Just Mercy. Fantastic film. Just really, really good film. Definitely at least an honorable mention. My favorite films of 2019 right here. So underrated. Like, you haven't seen Just Mercy. It's at least worth a watch one time. And again, I don't blame you, Hector, if you can't feel like you can't ever watch this again. This film definitely handles a tough subject right here. Excuse me. I think we're a little over halfway done. So maybe I can try and get done before an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, let's keep rolling. Next up, the only time you'll ever hear me say like a curse word on this channel, kick-ass. But yeah, I really, also speaking of cursing, I really don't curse on this channel just because I want to be able to have a wider audience watch this channel, and some viewers may not be as receptive to cursing. Me, I personally don't have a problem with it. I do it in my everyday life. I just don't do it on this channel. Sorry to get off topic, but anyways, yeah, really good comic book film, really funny. See, I still haven't seen the sequel though. Next up, we have The Kid. I know this just had its 100th anniversary this year, and sadly, when that happened, I couldn't watch this Blu-ray because I didn't have a working Blu-ray player and or Xbox at that time. But definitely want to watch this sometime this year, probably sometime next week, because I absolutely adore this film. This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite Charlie Chaplin film. So good. So good. Not just one of my favorite Charlie Chaplin films, but one of my favorite silent films in general. Next up, we have The King's Speech. As you can see, I'm sighing because this won Best Picture against both Inception and The Social Network. Like, how? Like, don't get me wrong, this is a pretty good film, but really? This over The Social Network and Inception, even Toy Story 3? Like, come on, Oscars. Next up, we have another one of the first Blu-rays I got in my collection. Sadly, it's not in the best condition, but Kingsman: The Secret Service. Really fun movie. Really fun. And very funny as well. Like, never saw the sequel. I definitely do want to watch the sequel. However, I heard it's not as good as the first one. You're not wrong, Hector. You're not wrong, Hector. Movie Geek, totally agree. Let's see. And next up, we have another one of the best films of 2019 right here, Knives Out. Not only a fantastic whodunit film, but also surprisingly, also a really good social commentary. Like, you haven't seen Knives Out, definitely check it out. Not happy that the other sequels are coming on Netflix. Like, I do like the idea of the Daniel Craig's character being in like his own series, but I not like that they're coming out on Netflix. Like, why not release them in theaters? Like, come on. Next up, we have a movie I've been wanting to watch. I'm pretty sure Knives Out is PG-13. Yeah, it's PG-13. I think you're talking about maybe. I do know a film that got an R rating because of one scene profanity. That's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which we'll actually get to in a little bit. Next up, we have La Haine, a French film I've been meaning to watch for a while, but I still haven't gotten around to watch yet. Another one of the first Criterions I picked up, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking this out very soon. Knives Out is full of goodness? Yes, Hector, it truly is, especially the screenplay. Next up, we have La La Land, a really good film, really good musical from Damien Chazelle, though I admit I haven't seen it since years, but I definitely want to rewatch it because this was such a good film. Not my favorite Damien Chazelle film. I think you can already guess which one is my favorite at this point. Next up, we have Lady Bird, a pretty good coming-of-age film, a bit overhyped, but still a good movie. Next up, we have The Last Blockbuster, a very interesting documentary. A really interesting documentary on basically the history of Blockbuster and the last Blockbuster that's in the world that still exists in Bend, Oregon. Your cousin doesn't like the ending. No offense to your cousin, but what's wrong with him? Nah, I'm just messing around. But the ending of that film, La La Land, was fantastic. Now, if you haven't seen the film and you're wondering why it's fantastic, watch La La Land. But anyways, but The Lost Blockbuster is a really interesting documentary on basically Blockbuster's rise and fall and the last standing Blockbuster in the world that's still in Bend, Oregon, which I really hope to visit someday. So, yeah, good documentary. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it, so you don't have to buy the Blu-ray. If you don't want to, it's on Netflix. The Lego Batman movie, definitely my favorite out of these Lego films. Really good film. Really enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters back in 2017. Yeah, there's that La La Land. That movie definitely has some of its haters. Yeah. As Patty reminded me, I was supposed to. Patricia reminded me I was supposed to go to Oregon last summer, but sadly, due to obvious events, yeah. Anyways, next up here we have Life of Pi. Definitely want to watch this one. The Lighthouse, really like this film. I definitely need to give it a rewatch because there are definitely some things I missed out on my first viewing that I feel like I would appreciate more in further viewings, but this is such a well-made film. Like, so happy it got Best Cinematography at the Oscars a year or two ago, like, because this could have easily, like, if you watch the film, this could have been a film that could have easily been made in the 30s. Like, this is such a really well-crafted film right here. Lion King, definitely much better than the 2019 remake. Like, oh my god, I hated that film so much. But yeah, Lion King was much better. But yeah, the 94 one is much better than the remake, which don't even bother watching that remake. It's like, just that remake, if you haven't seen it, just imagine this film, but live action and as bland and as heartless as possible. The fact that it made God knows how much money at the box office right there. Anyways, enough for my rant. Let's see. The Little Miss Sunshine, a really good, heartwarming film, despite its profanity and strong themes in it. It's still a really good, lighthearted, and funny film, and a good film to watch with the family, unless you're all like above the age of 13, of course. Next up, we have, in my opinion, one of the best films of 2019 right here. This is like one of the runner-ups to my favorite film of 2019, A Little Women. Just such a really, really good adaptation of the book. And I actually did try to read the book. Oh, you like Little Miss Sunshine too? Nice. I did try to read the book one summer, but I just didn't like it. So I was kind of skeptical about this film. Oh, you watched it when you were 10? That must have went way over your head back then. And you must have been introduced to things you probably shouldn't have been introduced to at that age, Hector. But anyways, Little Women is fantastic. I absolutely love this adaptation. I was surprised by how much I love it. Because, again, I wasn't crazy about the book when I tried to read it. So, yeah. But definitely watch this film. If you're skeptical about watching this film, please check it out. You may end up really enjoying it. Let's see, still haven't seen the one with Winona Ryder. I'm interested in seeing that one, but I'm definitely going to trust your opinion on that. Anyways, next up we have Logan. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, superhero film of all time. Like, I haven't seen the other X-Men films, or at least most of them, but Logan is so good. Like, such a different take on the superhero genre. And Definitely my favorite film of 2019. Like, wait, 2019? What am I saying? 2017. And yes, Hector, Logan is the best. Like, if you for some reason haven't seen Logan, and even if you haven't seen the other X-Men films, still watch this one. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, that ending. That ending. Like, if that was an ending to the entire, keep in mind, I haven't seen the other X-Men films, but that was an entire ending to the X-Men franchise, that would have been a damn good ending. Next up, we have a long shot, pretty underrated comedy film from 2019. Like, if you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. And another one, and definitely one of Seth Rogen's better films. Okay, so we're done with this shelf. Now let's move on a little bit. Now let's move a little bit. Sorry, I have to do this. Like, if I could edit this, I would. And yes, long shot is fun, Hector. Okay. I mean, who doesn't? Next up, we have in this shelf, at least the first Blu-ray in the shelf. Wait, I forgot my water ball. The first Blu-ray in the shelf is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yet another franchise I hope to at least start getting into this summer. Heard great things about these films, obviously. Like, I never even saw Dark Phoenix, but I heard it was horrible. but yeah, Lord of the Rings. I've heard so many good things about this trilogy. Definitely watch it, and hope to watch it sometime this summer. Next up, we have one of the runner-ups for that almost made my top 10 films of 2020. I can't even think right now. I've been doing this video for like an hour straight, and I'm just like, my brain's all. Let's see, my brain's all fried right now. Anyways, Love and Monsters, a really, really good film, really fun film that has a really good message, especially in a year like 2020. Like, definitely check this one out. It's really good. Love, Simon, not one of my personal favorite coming of age films, but still pretty good. Okay, where was I? Next up, we have, you know what, let me tilt this computer screen a bit. Marriage Story on Criterion Blu-ray. One of my favorite films of 2019. I'm so happy I bought the Criterion release of this, because this is one of my personal favorite Criterions in my collection. It has just such a really cool release and a great film as well, but not my favorite Noah Baumbach film. Get to that a little later. Next up, we have The Martian. Really like this film a lot. Just really good film, and I really like the story as well. Like, yeah, it's really good. It's been a while since I've seen it, though. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorite films from Woody Allen, Midnight in Paris. Now, I don't like Woody Allen as a person. Like, he may have done some questionable things. Are they true or not? I don't know. But hey, I'm the type of person that separates the art from the artist, so... But yeah, I absolutely adore Midnight in Paris. It's so good. Like, I know a lot of you guys love the artist, but I think this deserves Best Picture over the artist. Like, don't kill me for saying that, but yeah, absolutely love Midnight in Paris. So good. Next up, we have mid-90s, a pretty good coming of age film. If you're looking for a film one night to watch that's like very quick, is like it's only 85 minutes, so it's a very short watch, and it's pretty good as well. Actually, the directorial debut of Jonah Hill. Bernard disagrees with me on the artist in Midnight in Paris. It's all opinion, dude. It's all cool. Next up, we have Misery. Fantastic Stephen King adaptation right here, with a great performance from Kathy Bates. Like, this is quite a good film, and one of my first Scream Factory releases. Next up, we have the first four Mission Impossible films. Still have not seen these films. Definitely want to watch these before the seventh one comes out, whenever that's going to come out. I think it's coming out next summer now. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong on that. Next up, we have Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Really good film. Really good Mission Impossible film. I've only seen that and Fallout, believe it or not, which were both good. I enjoyed both, but I definitely need to watch the first four and to rewatch 5 and 6 before 7 comes out. And as you can hear, that's my dog Jazz barking again. Anyways, I know, very professional. Very professional. Let's see. Next up, we have Modern Times, another one of the first Criterions I picked up. Another fantastic Charlie Chaplin film. I absolutely love Modern Times. Next up, we have Moneyball. A Monster Calls. Really want to check out this film. Looks really good. Next up, another Jazz is the best. He truly is, Patricia. Or Patty. Next up, we have Monsters, Inc., another one of my favorite Pixar films. Fun fact, I really did not start liking this film until, like, how do I say it? Until I rewatched it last year for my Pixar marathon when I was trying to watch all the Pixar films or rewatch all of them. And I wasn't crazy about this film as a kid, but rewatching it last year for the first time in years, I now absolutely adore this film. This is such a fantastic Pixar film. Like if you did not like this film as a kid like me, definitely give it another shot. Like, it really is very good. And also, I love Mike Wazowski. I'm gonna be in the magazine. Did I even say the quote right? I didn't, and I truly apologize. Next up, we have probably my favorite Wes Anderson film, and another one of my favorite criterions in my collection. That is Moonrise Kingdom. Absolutely adore Moonrise Kingdom. Just I can't. Let's see. I don't have the words to describe how much I love this film right now because I'm just so burnt out at the moment. But I absolutely love Moonrise Kingdom. Easily my favorite Wes Anderson film. Like, if you want to get into Wes Anderson films and you don't know which one to start with, this is a great start right here because, gosh, just such a great film. Just watch Moonrise Kingdom. Yes, you definitely do need an upgrade to the Criterion, Hector. Because next up, we have a pretty underrated film from 2019, and that is The Mustang. Great start to your Wes Anderson watching, I guess. Next up, we have The Mustang, one of the most underrated films of 2019 right here. I actually saw this for free at my independent theater, and yeah, it was really good. One of the first films of 2019 that I saw that I really liked because it came out in like the first few months of 2019. Excuse me. Okay, next up we have Neighbors. The Nice Guys. Really want to check this film out as soon as possible because I've heard nothing but great things, and it looks really funny. Like, next we have Nightcrawler. Also heard this one was really good. Nightmare on Elm Street. The ending is like, what? But I really enjoyed this film for what it is, especially the concept of this film. While it may not be as revolutionary as, like original as it was when it was released in 1984, I still really enjoy it. Yeah, Hector, I definitely need to see a Nice Guy. I hear everyone praise it left to right. Next up, we have Nocturnal Animals. Definitely want to check this film out. Happy I got the slipcover. Next up, we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a really good Quentin Tarantino film. I especially love the ending of this film. If you guys seen this film, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, really good overall. Like, really enjoy it for what it is. And I definitely need to see more of Quentin Tarantino's films because from what I'm seeing so far, he has such a great filmography. Next up, we have The Other Guys. And next up here is a film that I think almost all of us in the chat can equally say is one of the best films of the past, like, decade or so. And that is Parasite. Like, Parasite. Oh, God, where do I even begin with Parasite? Like, if you haven't seen it, like, if you somehow haven't seen it, just don't read up anything about it. Don't read up anything about it. Like, just put on the film and experience it for yourself because that's the true way to experience a film like Parasite. And obviously, this is my favorite Bong Joon-ho film. Speaking of Bong Joon-ho, I'm so excited that Memories of a Murder, one of his first films, just got released on Criterion Blu-ray. And I'm definitely gonna pick that film up at the sale because that looks so good. You definitely need to see Parasite, Patricia. Like, it's quite something else. Like, it truly is something else. But just do not read anything about it. That's all I'm gonna say because you need to, like, be totally blind to truly experience Parasite. Oh yeah, Snowpiercer is really good too. Like, I definitely need to pick that one up. I'm not gonna get into politics, but that was really stupid. Like, really stupid. And yes, Patricia, it truly is a fascinating, like, social commentary on economic inequality. That's all you need to know. That's basically all you need to know. Wait, did I show this one? Next up, we have Patriots Day. Yeah. Next up, we have Patriots Day. Definitely want to check the one out. It's on the Boston Marathon bombings. I know you just recently watched it for the first time, Bernardo. Like, yeah, I really want to see that one when I pick it up. Next up, we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Probably, probably the only Thanksgiving film I've ever seen, and truly is a fantastic film. Really funny, really enjoyable. The banter between Steve Martin and John Candy, rest in peace, is fantastic. Yeah, that entire speech was stupid, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, that was a really stupid speech. He didn't even see Paris. Okay, I'll stop. Next up, we have Poltergeist. I've been wanting to see this film for the longest time. I'll definitely watch it for the first time this Halloween. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Sadly, the main actress died when she was only 12 years old. 12 years old, though. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Next up, we have The Post. Prisoners, another fantastic Denis Villeneuve film. And one of my personal favorite thrillers, if I'm being totally honest. I absolutely love Prisoners. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Queen of Katwe, another one of the first Blu-rays I picked up. I actually got this at Disney Movie Rewards for free long before Disney Plus came out. And yeah, I'm happy to own it. And I definitely want to check this one out. It looks pretty good. Next up, we have one of my personal favorite films of 2018, and that is A Quiet Place. I absolutely adore A Quiet Place. In my opinion, one of the best horror films to come out in recent years. I know not everyone's a big fan of it, and that's totally fine. It's all opinion. Film is just subjective in general. But I personally love A Quiet Place. It's fantastic. The way John Krasinski directed this film, like, I'm really looking forward to A Quiet Place Part 2. Like, from what I heard from the reviews that came out before the pandemic started, it's really good. So I'm looking forward to checking this out if it comes out next month, which hopefully it does. Knock on wood. Next up, we have probably my favorite Martin Scorsese film, Raging Bull, which features, in my opinion, one of the best performances I've ever seen from Robert De Niro here as Jake LaMotta, the boxer. Like, it truly is an incredible biopic. I don't even know if you call it a biopic, but it's really good. I know some of my friends on here didn't like it, and I totally respect their opinion, but absolutely love Raging Bull. Yo, dude, yeah, that sucked. Like, I was really looking forward to seeing it. I was like, yay, Quiet Place 2 is coming out in 2 weeks, and then we have the lockdown. So, but hopefully we'll see it sometime next month. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Anyways, next up we have Ready Player One, the most recent Steven Spielberg film to come out. Really enjoyed this film. Just a lot of fun. It truly is a really fun movie. Really enjoy for what it is. I know some people are not a big fan of it, but I think they're just taking that film way too seriously, in my opinion. Next up, we have probably another one of the most acclaimed trilogies of the past 20 years or so. The Planet of the Apes trilogy. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is pretty good. Definitely not the best in the trilogy, though. My personal favorite, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This film is incredible, in my opinion. Absolutely love this film. And War for the Planet of the Apes, which I saw in theaters, definitely need to rewatch it. I was kind of mixed on it when I saw it because I was expecting more from it than I should. But I know I'll like this a lot better on rewatch. Definitely rewatch the entire trilogy again because it's been forever since I watched those films. But yeah, really good trilogy overall. Sorry, let me just put these films back for a second. Next up, we have RoboCop. Been wanting to see this film for the longest time. Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I hope to see it soon. The Rock. Rocket Man. Pretty good biopic on Elton John. The Rocky collection. Now, I actually have seen all of these films, and the first Rocky is fantastic. I really enjoy Rocky Balboa, and I think Rocky 2 is pretty good. Other than that, I'm not crazy about the rest of the films in this pack, but I'm really happy to have it. This is a really cool Blu-ray set. And just look at that picture over there. Just so iconic. Like, next up, we have a film I know a couple of you guys were really looking forward to me showing, and definitely should have won Best Picture against Green Book, and that is Roma. Just what a beautifully shot film this was. What a beautifully shot film this was. Like, the way Alfonso Cuarón shot this film is just incredible. I love. Yeah, I know you are Mexican, Bernardo, so I can definitely so yeah, I know that this film is probably very personal to you in that way. But yeah, it truly is an incredible film. Like the way it was shot, like I could talk about it all day. Like I know not some people may not really like this film because of how slow it is, but personally, like I adore it. It's really good. Next up, we have probably one of my favorite A24 films right here, Room. Just a fantastic film with a fantastic child performance from Jacob Tremblay. And I think this is the film that helped his career because, like, now he's appearing in a lot more movies. I know I think, voicing the main character, Lusa, this summer, which I'm happy to see his career is going pretty well because he is a really good actor. So yeah, next up we have Saving Mr. Banks, a really good film on the making of Mary Poppins. It was actually from the same director as the founder, believe it or not. Next up we have Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. I remember watching this a long time ago, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I picked up the steelbook for only $8, so really cool steelbook. And I know this also has the 1932 film, which I also want to check out. So yeah. Definitely need to rewatch the 1983 one though, because it's been a while since I've seen it, and I don't remember much from that viewing. And the same thing goes with Schindler's List. Like I remember watching this a long time ago, but it's been a while. I definitely need to rewatch this one. I really want to rewatch this one, especially before West Side Story or Steven Spielberg's Childhood Project came out. Fell asleep during How do you fall asleep during Scarface? Like I don't remember watching that film, but it's like even then I found it hard. But I definitely do remember I wouldn't fall asleep during it. But anyway, so Schindler's List, definitely want to rewatch this sometime soon because I know it's like one of Spielberg's most iconic films. And now the film Bernardo's probably been waiting for, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Found this at 7-Eleven for a really good price. I'm like, yes, I'm picking this up. But yeah, I definitely need to rewatch. I definitely need to watch this film because I've liked what I've seen from Edgar Wright so far. And I'll probably enjoy this one. So I definitely want to watch this one very soon. I promise you, Bernardo, I'll watch it soon. I know it's like one of your favorite films of all time. Next up, we have... Okay, stop this and watch it tonight. I'm probably not going to watch it tonight, but I'll watch it very soon, dude. I promise. Yeah, it is really nice packaging for sure. Like, when I saw it at 7-Eleven, I was like, I have to pick this up. It's only $5 for a really cool steelbook. Like, why not? And the film I'll probably most likely enjoy. So next up we have the Scream collection. I've only seen the first Scream. Enjoy the first Scream. I still need to see the others and the 2 documentaries here and Scream 4 before Scream 5 comes out in January. And I definitely do want to watch them because I do really enjoy the first Scream. So I'm looking forward to watching the sequels and the 2 documentaries that are on here. So yeah. Next up we have my favorite film of 2018. Searching. Like I absolutely love Searching. Yeah, I definitely need to watch all of them. The first one is pretty good. Behind you. It's behind you. And like there's someone behind you. Anyway, Searching, easily my favorite film. Yo, it is so underrated though, Hector. I know there's a huge quiet fan base for it, but it is very underrated. Like it, in my opinion, it's the best film of 2018. Like it's basically like Unfriended, but done better. I haven't seen Unfriended, but it's definitely done really well. Like how it's from the perspectives of like phones or computers and stuff like that. It's such a well-made film and a really good thriller at that. Like if you have not seen Searching, it truly is really good. And this was this director, and this is definitely the director's directorial debut. Like, and it's a really good one at that. Next up, we have Secret Sunshine. A Korean film I definitely really want to see. I know the director of that film also directed Burning, which I also really want to see. So, wait, they're making a sequel to Surgeon. Like, why? Why? We don't need a sequel to Hollywood. Stop running out of ideas. Speaking of Hollywood, like, I'm also pissed that they're remaking Another Round. It's like, I haven't seen that film, but from what I hear, it's really good. Why do you need to remake it? Just because some people don't want to read subtitles? Anyways, I'll end my rant right there. Next up, we have Seven, a really, really good David Fincher film. The ending is something else, man. Like, definitely don't read about the ending of this film because it's one that is best experienced watching this film, and some great performances in there too, including from Kevin Spacey, which again I separate the art from the artist. Don't like Kevin Spacey as a person, but as an actor in this film and in Baby Driver, he's really good. Next up, we have Shameless season 1. I do enjoy the first, like, let's see, like 8 or 9 seasons of this show, but after that it goes way downhill. And I didn't even bother watching the finale. I just read what happened and I was just like, wow, they ended on such a low bar. Like, and it's a shame because this was really good in this first few seasons. So, but I definitely want to get the rest of the seasons I like on Blu-ray or at least DVD. So, anyways, next up, Shaun of the Dead. I still need to see the rest of the Cornetto trilogy, but really like Shaun of the Dead like a lot. This is such a funny movie. A great zombie film as well. Like, really good. Next up, we have easily one of the most critically acclaimed films of all time, and I can definitely see why. It's The Shawshank Redemption. Like, what a film this was. This film is so good. Like, I really like this film a lot. I do admit it's been like a few years since I've seen it, but I really want to rewatch this one because this film is just such a classic. Like, if I had to get, this is probably one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely love The Shawshank Redemption. Anyway, so we're done with the Blu-rays on this shelf, and as I stated before, I do have another shelf down here where I keep the rest of the Blu-rays I have, but I really do not like want to reach down under and like stretch my arm a lot when showing them, so I put them over here. So that's where I'll be like showing them from. So yeah, let's get started on this section, and after this section, we'll be done with the video. So if you stuck with me throughout all this so far, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And now let's get on to the last, like, what, 30-something Blu-rays or so? Yes, Hector. Team subtitles. Team subtitles. Yes. 4 likes for this video so far. That I actually find that pretty impressive because this video is so poorly like done right now because there are times where I just like don't know what to say or like say stuff that doesn't make sense without realizing that I'm like, oh my god. So I really appreciate you all for sticking for this video thus far. But anyways, let's get to the last bit of Blu-rays. So next up we have okay. Yes, Bernard. Keep the team subtitles going, please. Next up we have Shazam. I still can't decide if this or Wonder Woman is my favorite DCEU film, but really like Shazam. Just such a fun movie. Really enjoy Shazam for what it is. Next up, we have Sicario. Definitely not one of my favorite Denis Villeneuve films, but it's still really good. Like, it still compliments him because even though this is not one of my favorite films, it's still really good. It just shows how great of a director he truly is. Next up, we have Sing Street. Now, I know quite a few people here love this film, but I think it's a bit overrated, but still a good film nonetheless. Still a really good film, but a bit overrated in my opinion. The Sixth Sense, probably one of M. Night Shyamalan's better films, at least from what I've seen of him. Not my favorite, though. Next up, we have Slumdog Millionaire. I remember loving this film when I first watched it. Definitely didn't like it as much as on rewatch. And The Dark Knight definitely should have won Best Picture of the year it came out because this was the Best Picture winner the year The Dark Knight came out. So, yeah, but still a good film nonetheless. And definitely my favorite film from Danny Boyle that I've seen so far. Next up, we have my favorite David Fincher film and my personal favorite film of 2010, and that is The Social Network. Like, as much as I love Inception, like, I wouldn't care if that or this one for Best Picture. The Social Network is just something else to me. Like, I just love this film a lot more. Aaron Sorkin's screenplay is just incredible. He's definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite screenwriters working in Hollywood today. Like, he is such a fantastic screenwriter. And this film just proves it. Like, he was able to take a topic I'm not very interested in and make it interesting for me. Like, that's what I love about this film. It's so good. Like, it took me forever to finally get to watching this film. I didn't watch this film for the first time until last summer. Yes, it is, Patricia. It definitely will be an A+ movie on further rewatches. But yeah, if you still have not seen The Social Network, please check this one out. It's so good. As you can see, I'm progressively losing my voice throughout all of this. Next up, we have Speed. Just a really, really fun action film with Keanu Reeves. Let's see. Happy to have that one on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Spider-Man: Homecoming. I enjoyed this film from what it is. Like, I definitely enjoyed this film for what it is. Definitely not one of the best MCU films, though. I think it's one of the more overrated ones, but I do really like Tom Holland, so that's another thing that makes that film pretty enjoyable for me. And oh, you're the same way with Frost Fictions. Really interested in seeing that film, actually. Next up, we have what, in my opinion, is the superior MCU Spider-Man film, and that is Spider-Man: Far From Home. A really good epilogue, a really good film that takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame, and a fantastic steelbook as well. Probably one of my favorite steelbooks I own in my collection. Like, look, oh, you have to go? Well, thanks for sticking around, man. Take care, and feel free to watch the rest of this whenever you're done. So, anyways, I'm too old to recognize any Spider-Man aside from Tobey Maguire. Believe it or not, I still have not seen those films yet. I know. I definitely will check those out. But I think Far From Home is a much superior sequel than Homecoming, in my opinion. And I know it's not exactly the most popular opinion, but I personally like Far From Home a lot better. But no Spider-Man film is as good, in my opinion, than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Like, this film, in my opinion, is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's one of the best animated films to come out in the past decade. I'm so happy it got the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Like, it truly is great. Like, just so good. Next up, we have my personal favorite M. Night Shyamalan's film, Split. I know this is part of the Unbreakable trilogy, technically. I wasn't crazy about Unbreakable, but I really liked Split. Like, it's a really, really good horror film, in my opinion. Psychological horror film. Like, it's really well done. James McAvoy should have at least gotten an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for his fantastic performance, basically playing a dude with multiple personalities. Like, wow. Okay, so next up here we have Spotlight. Definitely this is one of the times this past decade the Oscars got it right for Best Picture. Like, this is such a great film. Like, the subject matter of this film, like, is pretty strong. But the way this film was done, telling this riveting true story, like, I actually forgot to say that I didn't even see Glass. So I wanted to see it when it first came out in theaters, but for some reason I never got around to seeing it. But definitely want to check out Glass sometime. But Spotlight is so good. Like, if you have not seen this film, I highly recommend you all check this out. This is so good. Definitely be a tough watch, but still really good. So, anyways, next up we have Spy. The Squid and the Whale. Definitely my favorite Noah Baumbach film. I absolutely adored this film, especially its screenplay. Like, Noah Baumbach really knows how to make human characters feel real, like, and handle subjects, especially relating to divorce, like, really well, and make them feel pretty realistic, at least from my standpoint. Like, I personally have never dealt with divorce, but yeah, I really like Squid and the Whale. I love Squid and the Whale. It's fantastic. Definitely check out if you love Marriage Story. Next up, we have another one of my favorite personal coming-of-age films, and that is Stand By Me. Like, I absolutely love Stand By Me. One of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. Like, a really incredible coming-of-age film with some of the best, like, kid characters I have ever seen in film. And rest in peace, River Phoenix. Like, he was such a fantastic actor. Next up, we have the original Star Wars trilogy. Definitely a classic trilogy. My favorite, obviously, Empire Strikes Back. Like, yes, it is a classic banger, Hector. Definitely Stand By Me. But yeah, classic trilogy. Really enjoy the films here. It's been a while since I've seen it, though. I actually, believe it or not, also still have not seen the prequels, believe it or not. I didn't really, like, watch the Star Wars films until a few years ago, because up until then I refused to watch them for some reason. But yeah, definitely need to still see the prequels. And next up, we have The Force Awakens. In my opinion, the only film from the Star Wars sequel trilogy that's worth owning. And that's all I'll say about that. Next up, we have Step Brothers. Not a great movie by any means, but just a really fun it's one of those comedies I can just watch, sit back, watch, and just have a good time with it. If I'm in the mood for like a mindless comedy, like this is really good. As a mindless comedy, this is really good. Believe it or not. Okay, so yeah, Step Brothers definitely is really funny. Anyways, I know Bernardo was wondering if I had this film because I know there's another one where this is his favorite, like, and that is Super 8. Yeah, I really do like Super 8 a lot. Like, it's basically a tribute to like the classic Spielberg films of the 1980s, like, and yeah, it's just a really good film overall. Like, I really enjoy Super 8 for what it is, and definitely check out if you haven't seen it. Like, it truly is really good. Yeah, Hector, you definitely need to check out Super 8. Let's see. Next up, we have another one where another mindless comedy I like having that I can just put on, watch, and have a good time with. Like if I need a mindless comedy, that is Ted. It's from the writers of Family Guy. So yeah, it's definitely has a lot of like the same humor and writing you would expect from Family Guy. So but yeah, I enjoy it for what it is. Again, it's not anything great, but if I need a mindless comedy, this is a perfect film. Next up, we have The Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I definitely like Judgment Day a lot better. But Terminator 1 is still really good. A sci-fi classic at that. I don't think I'll ever watch anything beyond Terminator 2. So yeah, as Forrest Gump would say, that's all I have to say about that. Next up, we have one of my favorite horror films of all time, and rounding out Bernardo's like top 4 favorite films of all time, if he was still watching this, The Thing. Like, this is such a fantastic horror film. Like, it's truly, it's amazing. It's also a great example of what practical effects, like how practical effects can really enhance a film. Like, it didn't need all the CGI to be effectively scary. Like, it just used practical effects. Like, that's what makes this film so great. Like, if you have not seen The Thing, please check out. Fantastic, and easily my favorite John Carpenter film. Next up, we have This Is the End, just another fun comedy, which actually features actors like Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride, basically playing terrible versions from themselves during an apocalypse. So, yeah, fun movie. Fun movie. Next up, you guys are probably going to raise some questions for this. Thomas and the Magic World. This is a childhood movie. This is a film I liked as a kid. And even though this is not necessarily a great film by any means. It's pretty bad, actually. It's nostalgic for me. It's a film that's still nostalgic for me, and I like to revisit it like once every few years or so. So yeah, happy to have this one. Next up, we have probably the weakest trilogy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is the 4 trilogy. I enjoy the first 4 for what it is. It's pretty good. A bit underrated, actually. For the Dark World, I don't think we need to talk about that one. And for Ragnarok, easily the best. And as you can hear, this is my dog barking for like the 5th time today. Anyways, and next up we have For Ragnarok, easily the best out of the 4 films. This is really good, and it also helps that this is directed by Taika Waititi. So yeah, really, really good movie. Okay, let me just put these away real quick. So, yeah, it definitely is fun. Definitely is a fun movie. Next up, we have a Free Identical Strangers, a really haunting documentary on these 3 identical twin brothers who don't even realize that they exist until they like run into each other. Like, really haunting documentary. Like, definitely check this one out. Like, it truly is really good. I know I have a couple friends on here who also really like it, but yeah, please check out Free Identical Strangers. And you can hear my dog is still oh no, they stop. Anyways, next up we have The Town. I found this at a used store for like only $2, and I was so happy to find it for that cheap because this is a film I've been wanting to see for the longest time, and it looks fantastic. See, okay, let's try and end this before 1:45. Probably not gonna happen though, but yeah. Oh yeah, The Town truly is super good. Next up we have the Toy Story quadrilogy, which includes Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4. The original trilogy to me is classic. They're childhood films for me. Like, I absolutely adore the Toy Story trilogy. And Toy Story 4, while it definitely is the weakest out of the Toy Story films, I still enjoy it for what it is, honestly. And I definitely can see why some people don't like this film, but for what it is, it's not bad in my opinion. Definitely nowhere near as good as the first three, but yeah. Next up, we have a film you guys are probably going to question why I have, and that is Transformers Dark of the Moon, which actually has a double slipcover, so that's pretty cool. So I found this at a local flea market. Yo, the first two VHS. Yo, that's such a throwback, dude. VHS. Actually, if you've seen some of my tour videos, so you know I have quite a bit of VHS. I even have some in the background right now. But Transformers, I remember loving this film as a kid, so I bought it because I remember liking it as a kid. So, but yeah, I don't think any of the Transformers films will hold up for me right now, but definitely want to rewatch them one of these days just to see what I think of them now. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorite Pixar films, and that is Up. I absolutely love Up. It is my second favorite Pixar film behind Finding Nemo. Like, it truly is fantastic in my opinion. Just great characters, great story. Like, I love Up. If you don't love Up, then you have no soul. I'm sorry. Next up, we have, as I say when I showed Get Out, I actually like Us better than Get Out, and here's Us right now. Like, I really like Us a lot. Like, I think it's just a really, really good horror film, and I just like it better than Get Out. Like, I see myself rewatching this more than Get Out. So, but yeah, really enjoy Us, and it was actually one of my favorite films of 2019. I know that's such a hot take, but yeah, I just love Us. Okay, so now we only have one more stack to go, and we're done. So let's get through it. V for Vendetta. Oh yeah, Lupita Nyong'o. Like, speaking of her, she gave such a fantastic performance in Us. She should have been nominated for Best Actress that year. But anyways, V for Vendetta, a really good comic book film. The 5th of November. But yeah, really like V for Vendetta. Vice, very interesting film that intrigued me when I saw it in theaters, but I haven't seen it since then. Definitely want to give this one a rewatch. Videodrome, I bought this at the Criterion sale back in November. I've really been wanting to check this out, but for some reason, I haven't gotten to it yet, but I definitely will soon, because this film just looks really intriguing from its plot synopsis. Now, this Blu-ray actually used to belong to my older sister. She just had it laying around, so like I basically kind of like took it from her, and she was like totally cool with that because she doesn't use physical media like at all. She's like the total opposite of me in terms of like physical media. She's like all streaming, which I can understand. So, but yeah, not one of my favorite Pixar films, but I still really like WALL-E for what it is. Like the stuff between WALL-E and E is great. I think like the subplot with the humans returning to Earth is like kind of like, yeah, it was not that great. Next up, we have The Way Back. Really good coming of age film. Definitely pretty underrated. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. Like, it's pretty underrated. And now we get to another of one of the great films right here, and probably one of my favorite films of all time. Definitely one of the best of the decade. And that is Whiplash. Whoa. Yeah, Hector, yes, it is an underrated gem. The Way Back truly is. But Whiplash, just, what can I say about Whiplash that hasn't been said already? Like, just the way, the direction, the editing, the performances, like the writing, like, it's so incredible. Like, it's all phenomenal. Like, everything about this film is phenomenal. And I'm so happy I bought the steelbook for this, because this steelbook is truly incredible. Like, look at this. Like, I only bought it for $6 too at Best Buy. Like, but yeah, if you have for some reason not seen Whiplash, please watch it. It's incredible. Believe it or not, actually, I was like, it's really good in my first watch. But by my second time watching this, I was like, yeah, this is incredible. But yeah, Whiplash, incredible. Yeah, that definitely was the case for a lot of movies, for sure. Like, definitely gave me quite a few chills. Gave me chills as well. Next up, we have Widows. Definitely want to check this out, especially after watching 12 Years a Slave, because I know Steve McQueen also directed Widows, so definitely want to check that one out. Same thing with Wildlife, looks really good. Definitely want to check that one out. And the film I hope to check out sometime this year, the third out of the free Martin Scorsese films I haven't seen but I want to check out this year, is The Wolf of Wall Street. I've heard that this is like one of those 3 hour films that doesn't feel like it's 3 hours. It's just like, it's just very entertaining. So I'm really excited to watch The Wolf of Wall Street. Next up, we have the front runner for Best Documentary in the Oscars a couple years ago that didn't get nominated for Best Documentary. That is Won't You Be My Neighbor? Just a really good documentary on Mr. Rogers, who was, let's be honest, one of the greatest people that's ever lived on this earth. Like, such a fantastic person from what I've seen in this documentary. I watched a bit of Mr. Rogers as a kid, not much, but this documentary like made me have a lot more appreciation for the man that is Fred Rogers. Like, definitely check that one out if you haven't seen it yet. Next up, we have Wonder Woman. This and Shazam are like easily the best DCEU films. Like, those are probably only two, at least from the ones I've seen, that I actually really like. So, I believe it or not, I still have not seen Wonder Woman 1984 because from what I've been hearing about it, like, it's not very good. I definitely want to watch it at some point, but I just had no desire to watch it when it first came out. So, but yeah, Wonder Woman, really good. Yesterday, now I know a really good friend of mine on here. Yes, there totally are the only good DCU films. You're not wrong, Hector. Now, to me, this is the only no, wait, I was talking. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So yesterday, I know my good friend Nicholas on here considers this one of his favorite movies and I totally respect that. And I do enjoy this movie for what it is, but it's not great in my opinion. Like, it's okay, at least for me personally, but I enjoy it for what it is. It's pretty good. See, now the last Criterion I have in my collection, from what I read in the plot synopsis, it's kind of like Roma, but it takes place in Taiwan. So I'm really excited to watch this. I haven't watched it yet because it's 3 hours long, but I hope to watch it very soon because the plot sounds really intriguing. Like, and let's see, I think I should also mention, is it from Taiwan? Yeah, it's from Taiwan. So I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. Next up, I got this in the Blu-ray lot. I still have not seen this. I know it's on Amazon Prime because it's an Amazon film, but the only reason I have this is I got it in the Blu-ray lot with a few other films. That's You Were Never Really Here, and I definitely want to check this one out. And yeah, I hope to check this one out soon because it looks really good. And Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. So the last two films I have in this collection are Zombieland and Zombieland Double Tap. Both really fun movies, really fun zombie films. Like, the first one's definitely better, but the second one is still really fun. Like, these are both films I can just pop in anytime and just have fun with them. Like, they're both really fun and both really good movies as well. That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I've been doing this entire video for nearly 2 hours, but I had a lot of fun doing this, and I really appreciate all you guys who stuck around this entire time, or at least tried to. Like, it really means a lot to me that you all stuck around for this entire stream. It truly, okay, I'm just repeating myself, but yeah, thank you guys for watching this stream. Let's see. Hopefully, the next time I do a Blu-ray collection video, it'll be a lot more professional. I can actually make an edited video of this because, like, one of the reasons why I want to make this an edited video is because so I can convey my thoughts on the films a lot more better. Because if I just do it once on the spot, like, yeah, I just stop making sense. So, anyways, thank you again all for watching. No problem, Patricia. But yeah, thank you again all for watching, and have a great day. And some new videos will be coming out very soon. See you guys.